Hola, y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama, or maybe hide from your baby mama. Aha! Just kidding. But anyways, fans, thank you for staying tuned. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching! And today we have a very, very special guest. She's an expert in car sales. Used to do it for a while, for a couple of years. Give it up for Gabby. What's up, girl?
I'm here, gonna give my little wisdom onto y'all. You know what's up?
We need it, girl. You see? I ain't gonna lie. And I'm so glad to have you back on. To be honest, I feel like you're a great storyteller and I love it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you still got that fire, your ambition, you got a lot of stuff going on for yourself. I mean, you're living on your own, you're doing a lot of stuff, girl. You got your own car, you know what I'm saying?
Trial and error. It's a lot of trial and error. You look at it and you think, wow, but trust me, there was a lot of failures before you get successes, And I got cats all around, so I'm sorry.
Oh, you good? Oh man, that means something glitched in the matrix. I don't know if you know this, but something changed. That's kidding.
Right.
Oh man, well let's you know what? Let's celebrate. I got you back here, girl. It's a new year, new opportunity. I feel like taking a shot with my my girl right here.
Let's do it.
You ready? All right, let's go, girl. Let's go. Cheers. Your boy. It's been a while. What's up?
What are you drinking?
Don Julio.
Period. The classic.
The class. You can't go wrong, girl. You know what I'm saying? That's my favorite. And it was a big one. Look, you could tell that was a big shot. Yeah. So your boy's struggling. Like, I'm already sweating. Just
little baby shots. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, no. But which one did you have?
Flavored in everything. There's these twisted shots. They're amazing. It's like Jolly Rancher. Goes down so smooth.
Okay, all right. I see that. Are you still using your vape pen or no more?
You know what? I was a little bit weak. I bought one recently, but it's not nic. So all the vape pens that I was using before, they were all nicotine. And I used them so much in 2020 that, like, unironically, inevitably, I actually dropped them. It wasn't supposed to be a New Year's resolution, but it kind of is, because I used them so much in 2020 that I had to drop them. Like, when I get the smell of it, or I even hit it once, it makes me want to gag. Like, I would want to throw up. Like, it just tastes so bad to me now.
Whoa.
I have PTSD. So yeah, all those like little flavors and everything, like I can't stand them anymore. It's crazy. It was like being in COVID, or I don't know, but like, I don't know, something about it. I just don't like the smell or the flavor anymore. So I guess it's a good thing because I quit,
Dang, that's crazy. Because I remember when I had you last time, you had your little vape pen.
I was gonna ask you that from the very beginning. I was like, dude, I don't want to like violate any guidelines. I know you like to post on TikTok and stuff like that. If I'm doing that, you can't post it, right?
Yeah, don't worry. I'm so smart that I did like a short 15 seconds on TikTok. So they only got the part where you were talking about how cumbia, actually bachata, you prefer bachata than cumbia. So we got that part. So you're good, girl. You couldn't see the pen.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you before, everything, but it slipped my mind. But yeah, no, and that was actually another side effect of me quitting the dealership life, because the dealership, it's such an old business and it's such like old Americana that everybody smokes there, whether it's cigarettes, like the old heads, they smoke cigarettes, or the new kids, like they smoke vapes. But every hour they're telling me like, come on, let's go smoke outside. Let's go do a smoke, and all the old people are like, come on, let's go. And all the young people are like, all right, bet. So they're following and they drop in words of wisdom. You just got to go out and smoke with them. So after I quit, I didn't feel the need to do that anymore. Cause like I was proud, I didn't feel the need to do it. So now I can't take the smell. It would just be like, I can't.
Whoa. Now I have to ask you something. This is a big one. Everybody got to know. So what about if it's CBD pens?
No, so come on, not CBD. We're not like grandmas here. No, it's Delta H, Delta 8. That's called Delta 8. New type called like Delta O, I think it is, or THCO. So it's basically like THC, but they legalized it so that they can sell it in smoke shops. So you go to a smoke shop, you buy a pre-roll or you buy one of those vapes. It's not going to be regular THC. It's called Delta 8.
Oh,
But it's
wow.
the same high, honestly.
And do you like it? Like, do you do that now? Like, is that your substitute?
Yeah. What is it? When I was in high school, like we would be waiting on a plug 2 hours, 3 hours in the cold, unreliable, pulling up on a bike. Like, no, I don't do that no more. Like all I do is pull up to the smoke shop, grab a pre-roll, grab a vape or whatever, and I go about my business. I like being able to go in and get out. That's all.
Wow. I gotta tell you something. So one time I was with this girl and we smoked this what's it called? Delta 8. I think that's what you were saying. And we did it, right? And I've never done it before. I'm gonna be real. I'm used to the traditional. Okay. So I try to be cool and I was like, you know what I'm saying?
I was that he saw my vape that I just got yesterday and he was like, oh, let me hit it. I was like, be careful. I was like, this is, rated R content. I was like, be careful. And he hit like 2 hits. I was like, yo, I was like, he's feeling brave. I was like, okay. But no, for me, because like during quarantine and when I got like my own crib, I wouldn't get the vapes and I wouldn't get any of those things. I wouldn't get a pre-roll because I have a really nice apartment. It's a condo. It's not like, we're not in that type of hood to be smoking in the apartment. Like we're a little bit more respectable, so I can't be doing that. So I would go to the smoke shop and I would buy Delta 8 edibles. And so I would be popping an edible every single day. And so my tolerance just went through the roof. So like now I could take an edible and I could chill out. Like I would be fine. I could do errands. I could drive. I could do anything like, cause I'm so used to it now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
See,
One time I got like a really, really strong one and I took one cause I was staying overnight at the airport. Mistake.
What happened? What happened?
Dude, I was tweaking. I had to take a lap. I probably walked that whole airport.
For real.
Places I wasn't supposed to be.
Whoa, man.
I remember, and I had so I went up to like a guy at the airport and I was like, hey, y'all got vending machines at O'Hare? And he was like, no. He was like, but we have them downstairs. I was like, oh, legit? There's a downstairs? I didn't even know that. And he was like, no, you're not allowed to go down there. And I was like, damn. And he was like, but I'll go get some stuff for you. So he literally leaves, comes back like 10 minutes later with a whole arm of Cheetos, honey buns, all the things. He came up with soda, water, and he just passes it to me and walks away. And I'm like, oh shit. So, he saved me that day.
Dang.
Yeah. He pulled up, he came in clutch, and then he dipped. And I don't even know his name.
Whoa. That's crazy. So look for me, when I was with the chick, right? We're chilling, we're watching a movie. I think we're watching The Office, one of the great shows. And I'm chilling. Girl, no lie. I feel like my hair and my leg, it start flying. Like it felt like somebody was pulling it. I was like, yo, girl, I don't know what's going on. You ain't touching me because my leg is feeling like someone's touching me. And then I start like, I don't know, I felt so relaxed. And then I was like, yo, man, I think I took too much. And I never had that feeling, to be honest, like that, where my leg felt like it was about to fly.
I saw an article the other day saying like, how some people go to smoke shops or they go to dispensaries to get CBD because they have like health issues or like they have really, really chronic pain. And I saw this article that came out and it was like basically like it was like a public service announcement. It was like a PSA, like say, hey, by the way, just so you know, Delta 8 and CBD, they're not the same thing. Because it turns out some people's grandmas were going to the smoke shop looking for CBD, ended up buying Delta 8 on accident and got fucked up without realizing it. And they did it on goddamn. I was like, somebody's grandma's out here getting blasted on accident. So I had to like literally put out like a PSA saying like, hey, it's not the same thing. Don't get confused,
Damn, girl. See, you taught me something. See, this whole time I thought it was CBD. Like, I don't know, like there was the same thing. And like here in Vegas, which is crazy, is that I noticed in Chicago, I guess CBD is very popular. But like in Vegas, everything has THC, like a lot. And I think so because like it's right here, we were one of the
Everything
first.
is everything's legal in Vegas.
Yeah, honestly, girl, you already know. You see,
Yeah, you look for, you can find.
it's sad. It's a sad story. Not kidding. Oh man, girl. But I want to ask you something. Um, so I know, going back to you, girl, right? You got into car sales. And from your experience, right? What have you learned when it comes down to selling to customers, right?
Anything sales, you have to be good at what you do. If you're not good at what you do, you can. I'm sorry, but they need to make, they need to sell their inventory. So as the cars come in, you got to be selling them because there's going to be other cars that come in the next month. So it's got to be in and out, in and out, in and out rotation. So it depends a lot on what the product you sell. It depends a lot on like your face. So like your face and your personality is a big factor. If you don't make a friend, you're not making a sale. They have to like you. Otherwise, you're SOL. So to give you like a little bit of a background, I'm a military brat. So I grew up all over the place. Like I was always a new kid and I was always, growing up in different areas. I grew up in Texas. I grew up in Seattle. And then I moved here. So by the time I moved here, like my mom, she was a stay-at-home mom. I was very sheltered. So like I was very well spoken. I didn't really know a lot of things about like the streets or anything like that. And then I kind of got transplanted into Cicero, Illinois, which if anybody's ever been there, it's not like Naperville. I'll tell you that.
It's the hood.
So, it was very different for me. So I kind of got the book smart when I was growing up. And then when I became a teenager and I moved to Cicero, I got that street smarts too. So I had both of them. And I grew up talking to, some of the more affluent people, some of the people that weren't so well off. And so I kind of got both worlds. And when I was 16, I joined the business when I was 16. I was very young. So I turned 16 years old and I was looking for a job and all of the like summer jobs were taken because I had started looking late. And I remember seeing the dealership and I was driving by in my mom's car and I told my mom, I think I could get a job there. And my mom looked at me and she went, okay, yeah, okay. So I was like, all right, I'll take that. I'll take that. I was never one to be discouraged. So I remember putting on a pair of like little kitten heels, a cute little pair of skinny jeans and a tank top. And I had my little purse and I had my little resume. And I walked in and I said, I need to talk to the manager. And they were like, ooh, right this way. And I was 16, but I was very confident and I did not break. I did not crack under pressure. And I went up right to the manager and I said, hey, how you doing, Mr. Manager? Yada, yada. My name's Gabrielle. Nice to meet you. All that stuff. And then I remember him asking like, you know what? I like you. You got the job. You're 18, right? And I was like, no. He was like, well, what's your social? And I was like, I don't know. And then he was like, how old are you? And I was like 16. And he was like, man. So he's like, well, I can't have you selling cars because, you don't have a license and you're not 18. So I remember they put me like in the back. So I was answering phones. Hello, how are you? My name is this. I was sending emails. I was sending text messages and I was basically just getting people in the door. So I had I was inside the dealership, getting experience, watching deals being made when I was 16 years old. So by the time I turned 18, I already knew that I wanted to sell cars. And I was so I had been in the business for 2 years already that I was begging to get out because I back office answering phones and sending emails. And I saw everybody else making big money. And, I had people walking around in Gucci belts, Louis Vuitton, Dolce & Gabbana, Ferragamo, all that stuff. So I was like, I remember I bought my first Valentino bag when I was 16 or 17. I still have that Valentino bag. I don't buy nothing like that anymore because that's ridiculous.
Wait, how much was the bag?
It was like $200 or $300.
Damn.
Cheap.
But that's still a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't pay any bills or anything like that. So all my check went to whatever I wanted. Like I was going to the mall and spending my check all, like I was making 1,200 a week at 16.
Dang, you made more than me when I was 16, girl.
Over right now because I'm living independently and I'm trying to apply for financial aid because I pay my own bills. And they're telling me that I don't qualify because I made too much money when I was in high school.
For real?
Dude, literally, because they're combining my income that I made in high school with my parents' income, with my dad's income. So it's them two plus me. Too much. It's too much.
Whoa.
I honestly, because like all the people that were bums in high school and they didn't just later on in their parents' house, they're getting more money than I am, even though I'm busting my ass.
You already, like, knowing you for a long time, you already had that in you that you a hustler. Like, you want to make money. You're quick on your feet. Huh?
Okay. I was just like, okay. You know, I was crazy. And then I calmed down in high school. Like, I swear to you, as soon as I went into high school and I started like starting fights with people and like I like started talking to like older folks, I calmed down a lot. And I got a lot of more like maturity. And I was like, you know what? Not everything has to be a fight. Not everything has to be a competition. And honestly, in high school is where I gained my charisma because I started doing theater and I started doing acting and dancing. And I got my ability to fake it until you make it.
Wow.
Where I had no filter, like anything that was on my mind, it just came out like a little garbage dispenser. And then after I took acting and all that, I gained a little bit of like, I could keep it inside and I could do a little charmer and all that. So it was helpful.
No, but it's good, girl, because look, I'm gonna be real with you. So I have one of my closest friends. He's like a cousin to me, and he also didn't get financial aid. Same thing. So what he did was, you're not gonna believe this. He got two jobs, right? He worked at a pizzeria, and I forgot what was his second job. Girl, he paid his tuition all in cash, and he paid all the way to his master's.
Wow.
And it's amazing. I'm like, bro, like, what you do? He's like, look, man, because my mom, he was like, he didn't want to ask his parents for money, right? He was already older.
My mom and my dad, like my parents have 5 kids. So like if I ever ask, that's one of the reasons why I was so hardworking. Cause like when I turned 16, I immediately got 2 jobs. So I was working at the dealership and I was also waitressing. And it's because like when I was growing up, if I said the word, if I said the word allowance, my dad would just be like, ya cállate, pendeja. Like, no, the joke. Like, no, I did not get an allowance. I did not get any of those things. I had friends in high school that were literally running around with like their parents' debit cards and they were like, just swipe, swipe, swipe. So as soon as I got a job and I started raking in money, I was like, I can buy whatever I want now. Like all the things that I never got, I can get now. And so I got my own debit card. I got my own bank account. And it's like, I started like spending all of my money. And honestly, if I had saved the money that I had made throughout high school, I would probably have like 40K right now.
Dang, girl.
Yeah.
I could have.
It's all gone.
Oh man. But you know what? I think that's part of.
I would just like slap myself in the face and be like, you're.
Oh man. But you know what? Honestly, I feel like, it's like a learning experience because like, think about it. If you look at rich people, I know this. I told my mom this straight up. I said, Mom, you know what? I kind of wish you taught me how to save money in a young age, because when I got money, I spend it. And now looking back, look, you're looking back like, man, I should have kept it. Yeah. And I didn't.
I think my parents, they try to give me advice and they try to tell me what to do. And I would just look at them. And this is like a terrible thing to say, but it was my mentality growing up. Like, or at least when I was a teenager, I was a terrible kid. I was literally the kid that you would worry about. Yeah. And I'd be like, I'm for the streets, and I would be like out and about, and, especially once I got my car. But yeah, no, I was a terrible kid. Sorry, mom. What is it? But no, they would tell me like financial advice, and I would just look at them and be like, you're literally working like paycheck to paycheck. You're broke. Why am I listening to you? You know, why would I take any of your advice? And it's just like, you see them struggle and you're just like, my mentality, especially being around people with so much money, it's like, if I want to be rich, I have to do the opposite of what you're doing right now, which is not the greatest mentality. And it's not like the mentality you should have as a kid, respect your parents. But that's kind of like the mindset I had, where I was like, they're obviously doing what they're doing and they haven't gotten anywhere. So like, what am I supposed to do? You know, I had no direction. I had nobody to tell me any advice. So the most financial advice I got was from my managers, because they were involved in the stock market and they had property and they had all this stuff, and they're really, really like wealthy. And I was like, the only people I can listen to is them, right? But, you know, I will also say that never listen to anybody who works in a dealership, because they're fucking liars.
Hey, you know what?
They don't always have the best. They are only telling you what will make them the most money. They're only telling you what's in their best interest, not yours. Your parents are the only ones that will have your best interest at heart. Nobody else, not friends, not coworkers, not your boyfriend, none of those people. None.
I agree with you 100% because my cousin said the same thing, like a saying. He said, lawyers and dealerships are the best liars. That's what he said. He always said that because they're selling a story pretty much so you can believe in something, right?
Like I saw those people and I saw how much money they made it like a game. Like it was like a game for them. Like, how much money can I finesse from this person? Now I'm gonna go steal all this lady's money, or like I'm gonna go ruin their fucking life. And it was like a game, and they would find it funny and they would laugh about it. And so as a kid, I would be like, it's just a game, right? It's a game, it's a game. And then you see those people 5 months later, you see them a year later, and you realize it's not a game. It's not a game. It's people's lives. You ruin their credit. You run their credit too many times, or you give them a payment that they can't handle and they don't know about it, or they total their car and you didn't give them the right advice. It does ruin their life. And that's crazy to think about, especially the old people, that they spend all their savings on like really expensive cars because you tell them, oh, this is the right option. I've seen so many people get fucked over by dealerships, especially after I left.
Whoa. Well, let me tell you this. I gotta share my experience. I went to buy a car last year, right? And it was on my birthday. I wasn't supposed to buy a car, by the way. For those out there, because
you don't expect it and you just get excited and you just say yes.
Right. So, well, I'm gonna tell you my reason why I did what I did. What maybe wasn't the right. Hey,
another shot.
I like that. So look at this. This is the biggest thing. My car, I was driving, and I had a big SUV Sequoia, and my car it kind of broke down in the highway. I had a big old truck about to hit me. I thought I was gonna die. I made my last prayer. I was like, dang, what I do? You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was so scared. I even tried to honk the horn, and it was just so bad. And I was freaking out. Luckily, I don't know what happened. The truck actually moved around from me. And I was able to move the car to the side. And I found out that it needs a new transmission. It's just messed up. I had the car for more than 15 years, but a 2003 car, that's a good deal. For 15 years extra, can't go wrong. So I was supposed, my birthday, August, like literally, the down payment was for the house. But I was like, I need a car. So in Vegas, to be honest with you, Gabby, Vegas is different than Chicago. You cannot take the bus to get to everywhere. You can't.
The situation that you find in LA, in Chicago, and in New York, you will not find anywhere else, especially not in the South. Like, people don't realize how, blessed, I guess, in the fact that our public transportation is really, really good. And if you have never left the city of Chicago and you go somewhere else, you will be very shocked, because you can't even go 5 miles without a car. And yeah, that's what I mean, for sure. Like cars, and that's the way that they get you, because they know that a car is a necessity. You tell them all the things that you're desperate for, and they'll take that and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then when it comes to the point of signing the paper, they're like, well, I thought you needed a car. Isn't your transmission blown? Isn't it your birthday? Sign the motherfucking paper. Like they'll use all of that against you. I remember when I was getting trained, they would tell them, ask them every single service that they've done to the car, and ask them everything. If you replace the radio, if you replace the tires, if you did an oil change, if you did anything like that. And then when it comes down to it, use it against them and say, well, I thought you paid $600 for a transmission, $200 for an oil change and tire rotation, $400 for your tires. This is how much you paid in the last 2 months on your car. So wouldn't it be cheaper to just get a car payment? Because you pay only like $150 for a car payment. That'd be cheaper than the car you have right now, even though you don't have a note. And they will just use the mathematics. They would use all that information, confuse you, make it look like a good deal. And then all of a sudden you're signing papers.
Dang, that's crazy. So look at,
a good deal is a state of mind. A good deal is a state of mind. If you feel like it's a good deal, then it is, even if it's not.
So look what happened to me. Watch this. So I get to the dealership, and because I work for the same company, just not in car sales, they gave me $1,000 off for the car. So I'm like, all right, cool, and I could use that towards the down payment. Mm-hmm. And so I was ready to do it. I was like, I need a new car. I need a good one. I really wasn't picky because I was like, this is just trying to get me to point A, point B, right? I was gonna get the Tesla, but yeah.
2003 to Sequoia to a seven, boy.
I'm a gangster, but I was gonna get it, but I was like, the thing is, they wanted a higher down payment at that time. Then this is during the pandemic. They wanted 12,000 down payment. I only had 7,500 for my down payment, something like that. And so I was like, oh, I can't. I don't have it. But I know I could have got a used Tesla, but my guy who worked for Tesla, he was telling me the problem with the used ones. He's like, if you buy a new one, we cover your charging your car for 4 years. But if you get the used, you don't get that. It's not part of the package because it's a used car. So you have to pay it. It goes to your bill for your light bill, whatever. And he's like, you're going to just spend a lot. And I'm like, dang, man. So I was like, you know what, forget it. So I got myself a Ford Fusion. I was like, all right, you know what? I'll get something, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Look at, she making fun of me. look, she making fun of me.
A Ford Fusion. Okay.
Nope. Okay, but hear me out. I got titanium. That's
Oh my God.
And it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid too. What's up?
It's hybrid. Okay, you get like 10 points for that. Hybrid.
Thank you.
You know, my dealership was Ford.
What's up?
My first dealership was Ford.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
They're so bogus. They are. And then what is it? Their car prices are so janky. And then their cars itself, so janky. Like they have so many recalls. Their customer service isn't good. I don't know. I just didn't like anything about them. I mean, the interior is nice. They've been around for a long time, I guess. Can't go wrong, I guess. But you could have picked a way better option. Why didn't you just stick to Toyota? It lasted for 15 years.
I know I was, girl, but to be honest, I was like, man, I just need something to save gas because I'm gonna be
plate, and you were like, yeah, that's the one.
No, so look, let me tell you. I was literally, so like I told you, Tesla was my first choice. I really wanted Tesla.
Like,
yeah, I literally went to change. But you know what? I look at it like this. So my job, I'm gonna be real. My job was a 45-minute drive every day. And when I went back home, because it was so far and there's traffic by the time I leave, it took me like almost an hour and a half to get back home. And I work like 12-hour shifts like every day. So I felt like the Ford Fusion actually helped because it uses, electric and gas. So
they get out of your way.
Yeah. So, and I save money for gas. So I was like, you know what? It's pretty dope. And I was like, you know what? I might just do it. Cause I honestly, I was gonna do Uber. I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna do Uber on the side. I was like, you know what? I can make some money, fast money on the side, catch me outside. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Do my thing. But look what happened. So when I got to the dealership, my boss got me connected to this girl. And I was like, I met her a few times. I'm like, all right, I'll go with her. Maybe she'll hook me up. So watch this girl. I get there. And I kind of told.
Gonna hook you up. Oh, you're gonna hook you up. They tell you lies.
Lying, girl, lying. She said, I'm gonna take care of you. Don't worry. You
comes up to me in the dealership, says, I'm gonna take care of you. No, get out of my way. Get out of my way. Go that way. Don't talk to me. Don't even look in my direction.
Right. So when I got there, I actually already know what car I wanted, right? I already had it. I was like, look, girl, this is what I want. I want the black, Ford Fusion shine. Cool. And so when we did the paperwork, this is where it gets interesting. So the warranty, that's a big one, right? So I got the warranty.
There's no warranty.
And she was like, if you get this warranty, it'll cover the battery for the Ford Fusion. I said, okay. I don't know anything about the warranty, right?
You should ask for details.
I know, girl. I know. See, I do my homework. But wait. So I'm doing this, and then the percentage comes in, right? I'm paying, man, I don't remember now, but I think the percentage was, we brought it down to, I think 5%. I think it was 5%, right? It's not bad, right? And then I was paying a monthly was gonna be like, I think it was gonna be like 450, something like that. I was like, man, is this too high? I'm like, damn, 450? Yeah. I know this was.
Your mistake was buying a titanium, bro. Because it's the same engine. It's the same engine. It's the same car. Gets you from point A to point B. You don't need them leather seats. You do not need the heated steering wheel. You don't need none of that.
I like that.
They got
it's not the fault Falcon.
I got cats.
Okay.
Bro.
So check this out. I get to that part, right? And then she was like, I need one more document, which I couldn't get, was my my pay stub. That's the only thing she needed. Now, she printed out a paper contract, right? And I signed it. When I came back the week after, or a couple days later, or no, 2 days, I think 2 or 3 days, and I brought my pay stub and my check. She goes, all right, so I did everything. I did all the numbers. The percentage is 7%. I said, no, they can't be, girl. You said 5%. And I got proof because I got the original, contract, 5%. You know what I'm saying? So, girl, I don't know where you getting this 7%. I don't know. I thought you were my friend, And
they're never your friend. They could tell you go fuck yourself the next day. They don't care.
It's sad.
As long as you sign on the dotted line, you're no longer friends. As soon as you sign, no longer friends. The friendship is over. Y'all are frenemies now.
So look what happened. Couple months, 2 months, or a month and a half, my car breaks down. Like it doesn't turn on.
I'm telling you, transmission issues with Ford.
But it was months. But it wasn't the transmission, it was the battery.
It's a battery because
it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. So not so there's 2 batteries. There's the one in the back and the front, and then there's the big one, the electric one.
Yep.
So when I told her it's not the battery in the front, the back, those I already changed it and it's not it. I said it's the big battery. That's the big problem. And my guys are mechanics, and she goes, call the warranty people and see if they, they cover it. I said, well, you did say it covered it. And so I called the place, girl, guess what they say? They don't cover it.
Life.
Yeah, they say they don't cover it. I was so mad. And So
That's why you don't buy a Ford.
thanks. She's like, don't buy four. But I'm gonna be honest, that was my experience. It's a
For
bummer.
me, yeah. So for me, I've worked for American companies. I've worked for Asian companies, and Asian being Toyota, Honda, Hyundai, and Kia, and American companies being like Ford, Chevy, Dodge, and like Ram, I guess.
Yeah, or Chrysler.
Chrysler, yeah. Chrysler don't even exist no more. That's off the rails. What is it? But yeah, no, you go with the Asian company. If you're gonna buy a Honda, fine, I guess. If you're gonna buy, you always want to go with Toyota, or you want to go with something with a warranty. Okay, I want to see that warranty. I want to see it in writing. I want to see the details. I want to know exactly what I'm paying for. Because if they just tell you, oh no, bro, I got you, no, they automatically don't know what they're talking about. If they say, I got you, I'm gonna give you a deal or whatever, those are like pleasure words, because when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, like that sounds perfect. But they don't actually give you details. They don't actually give you specifics. If somebody brings the receipts, they give you it written, that's how you know they're legit. Because like for me, like I love Toyota. Everybody loves Toyota. That's not my first choice though. That's not my first choice. My first choice will always be Hyundai or Kia because they have that warranty and they have it in writing. Every other company, it's 5 years, 60,000 miles. 5 years, 60,000 miles with a brand new vehicle. And 5 years, 60,000 miles, you will find will not last you shit. Kia and Hyundai, 10 years, already double, and 100,000 miles. Now, how many, 100,000, how long is it going to take you to get there? Or at least 10 years. So it's either or, whichever one it hits first. If it hits 100,000 miles or 10 years first, whichever one comes first. So for me, I love Toyota. Toyota does last, as you saw with your Sequoia, but I need it in writing. Okay. That's me. So like if anything happens, like if your battery died or whatever, if you had a Kia instead of a Ford, you could just take it to Kia and they would have been like, my bad, bro. Let me fix that for you. And they would have replaced it free of charge because of the warranty. That's what I always say. It's like, okay, I always want it in writing. I don't trust nobody. No trust ever.
Wow. I gotta say this. I wish I knew like that you were in car sales at that time when I was, about to buy a car, because I would have had you on speaker.
Yeah, there's so many things that go the buying process when it comes to figuring out what you can qualify for, finding out the car that matches your qualifications, and then negotiating your APR, which is your interest rate, and then your monthly payment, and then your down payment, and then getting, like they dazzle you the whole time. They're like doing jazz hands in front of you because in the background, it's like, oh, the 26% APR and the 450 monthly payment. They don't want you to see that. So they go like this. Until you sign on the dotted line. So it's like they show you the car and they let you drive it. And once you get behind the wheel, there's no going back. You know what I'm saying? Once you get behind the wheel and you drive the car, you fall in love with it and you drive it. And there's proven statistics and theories that show that once you drive it yourself and you put your hands on it, you automatically think of it as yours already. And you just want to go through the process of buying it and making it yours. That's why they always ask you to do a test drive. And if a customer declines a test drive, that's how you know that they are serious and that they're not going to fuck around. But if they go on the test drive and they're like, oh my God, I love it. They're going to be easy. Easy.
That's good to know, because when I got there, I didn't tell her I want a test drive. I just said
every day. Not everybody buys a car every day. You do it like obviously the goal is to do it every 5 or 10 years, right? That's the goal. But sometimes if you don't choose the right one, then you have to do it multiple times. But those people are in that dealership every single day. They get 5 or 6 customers a day. They have it down pat. They have their lines down. They have their facial expressions down. And if they're cute, which most people who work in a dealership are attractive, they use that to their advantage too. And it's like my number one sales tactic. I remember people telling me, pretend you're their niece, pretend you're their granddaughter, pretend they're your friend, all that stuff. You act like you're friends and then you get their trust and that's it. That's it. You're done.
That's crazy, girl. See, and it's crazy.
I remember the first guy that I was training with, he trained me and he literally told me, like make it a game for yourself and make sure that you like, it's just a whole bunch of mind games. Like just make sure that you're smarter than them and you'll be just fine. And I've used my tactics, like the tactics that I learned in sales, like in the dealership throughout my whole life. And it works. It works so easily. Like it works like a charm, I'll tell you, because I've had guys like arguing with me and stuff like that, like over stupid shit. And I just use my sales tactics on them. Like, hey, like, do you understand where I'm coming from? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm glad we've come to an understanding. And I walk away. And then they look at me all confused. And they're like, wait, I know. And then they try to argue with me more. And I'm like, no, don't argue with me.
Dang.
Yeah. Like I don't argue with people. Yeah, no, we don't do it. I just close.
Then always be closing. That's the thing.
ABC, all that stuff. There's so many lines. Always be closing. Closed mouths don't get fed. All that stuff. They send you those little catchphrases, and you think, oh my god, that's so smart. No, it's not. No, it's it's not smart. Just because you know your ABC doesn't mean you're a closer.
Funny. I like that you're very honest because, like, I'm gonna be real. Like, my grandfather, he owns a dealership right now, in Texas. And he's been doing car sales for more than 20 plus years. Then my father became, what's it called? Did car sales, got into financial advisor. He moved up the ladder, like all the way up. What's up?
That's my goal.
There you go.
Use that, get my degree, go into financing and like become like a financial advisor or like an accountant and go from there. I've been with customers so much and like I do customer service so much now that honestly, I probably have like another 2 years in me before I'm like, fuck the customer. We about to throw hands.
Can I tell you something? I'm so glad you said that because customers, so there's this saying that we hear in commercials and movies. They say that customers are always right, and that's some BS. The reason why they don't know everything and they're not always right, first of all, they don't know the policy.
No, they don't.
So how are they always right? You know what I'm saying?
I've had people argue with me, and like I said, I use my sales tackle. No, I've had people use their like they like try to argue with me. I've had customers call me like a stupid bitch or whatever, and it was such a hard transition because when I was in the dealership, if a customer said that to me, I'd be like, "You get the fuck out," and I would tell my manager. I would go to my manager and be like, "He just called me a stupid bitch," and then my manager would be like, "You get the fuck out. I don't want your money. Take your check. Get the fuck out. I don't want your money." And that's how it would be. But when I'm in the bank and like people call me a stupid bitch, I have to be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, you don't like the policy? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I wish I could change it for you. You know what? Let me make an exception for you because you're so special." No. In the dealership, we would tell you, like my manager would go up to you. He'd be like, "Get out." And I'd be like, "Yeah, get out, bitch," behind him. Like, you heard him? He said, "Get the fuck out." I've had people, like my managers have called the police on customers for trespassing to kick him out. Like, we don't care. Like, we make money every day. I've made more money on another person before you yesterday. Like, I don't need $200. You can get out. Like, I would rather lose $200 on your small ass deal than you treat me like that. So you can get out. That's what I would be like. I'll go to another dealership. Go across the street. I don't care. Like, I would rather lose the deal than be treated like that. And it's about respect. Like, that's the thing about like those old school businesses. Like, if you've ever seen Wolf on Wall Street, great and how they're, yeah, really great movie. What is it? But it has like, honestly, it's like the perfect representation of what it's like in a dealership because they have those pep talks where it's like, "Oh my God, you know, like he just said some crazy ass shit, but we're going to go with it." And they're like drinking and doing drugs and like just making crazy fucking money. That's what we would do. And like, I would make 5K and then like somebody would come in and disrespect me. And I'd be like, I don't need that money. No.
Wow. I hate when people are so entitled, like they think they're entitled. Like, yeah, oh, I drive a Lexus. That's the ugliest car I've ever seen. First of all, I don't know what you mean. I want. What were we gonna say?
I have right now, because with guys, like they try to impress me because I'm a car girl, and like sometimes I'll tell people like, "Oh, I like cars too," and like I'll start talking about cars, and they have this like surprised look on their face that I actually know what I'm talking about. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a Dodge Challenger, right? Yeah. And then he'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's got a Hemi," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a great, you know, like I love Hemis, like that's what makes it real." And then I'm like, "Is it an SRT or an RT?" And they're like, "No, it's an RT," and I'm like, "Oh, you know, it's okay, you know, that's all right, bro." Nobody's gonna be stealing your RT anytime. It's okay.
You a beast. I like that. That's pretty good.
Bro, don't worry about it. And then so they get impressed by me. And it's just like, I have seen so many cars that your Lexus doesn't impress me. Supra does not impress me. Definitely not the Challenger. I'll tell you that. Okay. The only thing that I really like, I think the only cars that I really like to this day are probably Porsches. I love Porsche Panamera. That's my favorite car because it's classy and they haven't changed the look recently. It's still the same classy look that it was. But any other car, like you could tell me like, oh, I got a Benz, like, or I got a Mercedes Benz, like, let me take you out. I'll be like, no, thank you.
Yeah, it ain't nothing. But and you know what's crazy too? Like I had somebody real talk with customer service. Pretty girl, like man, she was very beautiful. She came in and she was like really like with an attitude. Can you hurry up? And like giving me like that. And I was like, we could try again. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the, you know what I'm saying? And
you
so
can try that again. You
yeah.
can talk right. Talk correct. Okay. I said that the other day because this bitch tried finding me. I told you she called me a stupid bitch. And then she was like talking about like the things I was wearing. And then like I was like, I had a surprise look on my face and she was like, yeah, I did call you that. What are you gonna do? And then in my head, I was like, this name tag comes off, bitch. The fuck? There's a parking lot right outside. And like I was literally like, okay, I'm not working with you no more. Like somebody else can help you. And I was like, you had the right idea, but the wrong fucking bitch. I was like, no, get out of here. And I know that my manager, like the managers even, they like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. No, if it's not my fault, I'm not taking responsibility for that. I'm not owning it. Cause like in the dealership, if something was wrong, it's usually the salesperson's fault. Like they forgot, or the interest rate was raised, or you need more down payment and they didn't tell you, that is their fault because they need to communicate. But when it comes to policy and procedure, that's the company. I have no control over that. So I'm not going to take ownership and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, no, I'm not sorry.
You know what's crazy too? Like that same person I was telling you about, right? Came back to see me for something stupid. Yeah, and watch this. She was so nice and different, right? And watch this. I told her when we went outside, I was like, can I be honest with you? And she goes, what happened? In the morning, you were like very ugly. I don't know what you did, but it was just that energy. It was just like, whoa, what happened? But right now you came back, you like an angel. So can you bring that angel back the next time you come? Because I don't want to deal with that. And she goes, I'm sorry for how I acted. I had a bad day. You know what I'm saying? So this was a different job. This was actually I was working at GameStop.
Because when people walk in, they're not angry at you. They're angry at themselves. Because they come into your store or wherever you work and they bring all the shit that's in their life and they have no outlet for it and they don't have any way of healthy coping mechanisms. So they bring it out on other people. Like they see this as an opportunity, like, oh, there's one thing that you said that I don't like. Well, all this shit that I have had pent up for like 30 years, like those are the Karens, they take it out on you and like they start screaming and like fighting with you, or they're just like straight up bitch. That's what it is. It's not you. It's not the policy. It's not anything that happened in there. It's just them taking all that shit that they don't fucking like in their life and they're taking it out on the gym, man. Go to the gym, go fucking do improv, go do something, play a video, but don't take it out on us. Okay. But that's literally the reason. It's just because they're miserable and then they want to take it out on other people. And that's okay. And you know what? Sometimes I think that it's karma for me because sometimes when I walk into a place and I'm angry, I do sometimes I am sometimes a bitch. I'll admit it. And then as soon as my problem gets taken care of, I'm like, oh my God, thank you.
Oh man, you're so funny. I gotta say something. So I feel like this is my thing. I think you're gonna love this. So I came up with this thing and no one has come up with this. So pretty much I feel like in every retail place, when you have to deal with customer service, I have a genius idea. If we had like a room where you can go and vent, and let's say you had a big confrontation with a customer, right? You go to that room, there's a social worker there, by the way. You can talk to the social worker, and you know the social worker is not biased, it just hears what you got to say, right? Or a therapist, whatever. I feel like that would make people want to continue working, because hear this out. Sometimes we have problems at home, even though we don't want to bring it to work. But let's say, yeah, it could affect us because let's say you had a family member just pass away. Even though, you were gone for 2 weeks, you came back to work, it still kind of hits you. You just got out of a relationship. There's a lot of stuff, right? But I honestly feel like that would be the best thing that would change the world. That's my opinion. Because people that come to, like, I want to have a button. I'm not lying. When I get people that are crazy, I'm like, I want to send you to the cuckoo house. Ding, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll be like, bye. Yeah. And
Wow.
I'll pay for your week. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay for the week. I don't care. But I
That's
just
not, people really do need therapy. I think it's harder for older people, especially. I think people who are young like us, like millennials, we recognize it and we can say people need therapy, or like I need a therapist, or I need to take a break. But older people, they think that's like a myth. Like mental health for them is a myth and it's not something real. And they don't have any ways of processing it or even recognizing like, hey, like maybe I need to take a break. They don't see it that way. They just say like, oh, like whatever. And they go about their day. But I feel like if older people had the mentality that we do, they would just go to fucking therapy on their own and pay for it themselves. Customers come in, especially since I work around the Austin area in Chicago. Like there's a really, really vibrant African-American community there. And I honestly loved working with them when I was in sales of the dealership, because when you're in sales at a dealership, you have something that people want. So they're going to be nice to you. They walk in, they have bad credit or they don't have any money down. They're going to be the nicest. They want you to do a favor for them. And I got the key. Huh? You want this? Okay. Be nice to me then. And it's like, they treat you with respect because you're wearing tacones, you have your little work shirt on, and you have your business card and the key to the fucking car that they want. Yeah. They're going to treat you with respect. Some of them. What is it? But when you're in the like customer service and you're working retail, they're just going to shit on you. And that's one of the hardest things I had to get used to, like not having the respect and the protection for my managers that I had before.
Yeah. And also too, it could be too, Gabby, I'm not going to lie. Maybe the manager is not the toughest person. You know what I'm saying? Because
managers in retail, they're not tough. They're not tough at all.
Because I'm gonna be real, I've had in different jobs I've had, and this goes back to retail. I've had managers where it got to the point where I was gonna fight, and my boss never saw me like get so mad, and I got real mad because you start, first of all, you start making fun of me, and it got like heated, right? And I try to cool the situation, de-escalate it, what they say, de-escalate.
I'm still learning about that.
Right, some BS. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? My boss came in. He's like, man, Dave, you need backup? I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, I got it, but you got my back. He's like, bro, don't worry. Cops come in, I got your back, bro. Don't worry. It's so, and that's a retail. And the thing is, you're gonna notice that. Here's the thing about managers. You're gonna have managers that go by the book. And so when they go by the book, like hardcore, it's hard for them to really fight for you. My opinion. That's what I've noticed. If you have some that are kind of like, okay, they know the policy, but they have their own interpretation as well, they're gonna have different like life skills,
Yeah.
whatever.
There is no policy. There is no book. It's whatever they say, and that's it. And It's like the only above the sales manager is the general manager, and the only person above the general manager is the owner. And the owner, he's in the Bahamas, boy. You ain't getting no contact. Out of here. Like no. Like it's just, I don't know. Like, and they like the type of managers that I had at the dealership. Bruh, he went to fucking jail for 2 years breaking this dude's jaw. And like, you're not getting through to him, bro. Like, he's like, it is what it is. Like, dealership, as much as we hate each other, as much as we're competitive, it's still a family. Like, for us, we have a saying. It's called buyers are liars. Buyers are fucking liars. So if you don't have any credit history or you had bad credit, your number one thing that's going to help you is having money down. So, and also the trick, like it's like Goldilocks. Like it's either too cold, too hot, or it's just right. Now, too cold would be buying a car that's like $2,000 or $3,000 that needs a lot of fucking work from like 1989. You do not want to buy that bogus ass car off of some private seller. Too hot would be buying a Tesla or buying something like that. Okay, don't do anything like that. Now, just right would be to buy like a $10,000 to $15,000 car. $15,000 should be your limit. Something that will just get you from point A to point B. If it has cloth seats or you need to connect your phone to an aux cord, you'll deal with it. Okay, just make sure that it has a warranty. Okay, and you have gap insurance, because if you are a new driver and you total your car and you don't have gap insurance, you're about to be in the hole owing $5,000 on a car that you can't even drive because it's in the junkyard. Don't do that. Okay, so with a $15,000 to $10,000 car, there's a bigger chance that you're going to get financed through the bank, because the bigger loan you have, the less likely they are going to want to finance you because you're a higher risk client. So you're going to want to get a $10,000 to $15,000 car, get like $2,000 down. So at the end of the day, you're only financing, like I said, like 10 or 11,000. You're going to get a high interest rate because you have bad credit or you don't have a lot of credit history, but just bite the bullet, pay the $250 or $350 payment, have it for like 2 years. And then when you build your credit or you build a bigger down payment, or potentially both, right? We want to do both, pay your bills, people. Then you can trade into a car that you actually want. But I would say if you're not a billionaire, you're not Kanye, okay, don't buy an expensive car. Don't buy an expensive car. You should save up money to buy a house or buy property, buy a fucking apartment complex, live in one of them and rent out the rest. You should have, use your money to make money. You know what I'm saying? Don't put it all in a depreciating asset, because that's what cars are. The longer that they sit on the lot, or the longer that they sit in the driveway, or the longer that you drive it, it loses value. You don't want to put all of your money into something that's losing money for you. You want your money to work for you. So invest it in whatever you please, whether it's in property. I know some people like to invest in the stock market. I wouldn't recommend that because it's really high risk, and all these finance bros drive me nuts. But don't do that. But yeah, do it in property. Put it in property. Invest in something. Invest in your education. Get a fucking degree. How about that? And then once you get your shit together and you own your own house and you have your own degree, then you can go buy a Tesla if you want to. And if it fits the budget. Like if you're making $50,000 a year, don't buy a $50,000 car. It just doesn't make any sense. Even if you're making $70,000 a year, don't go buy a $70,000 car. Like you have to seriously evaluate how much you're making and how much you're buying, in addition to like all your other bills. You have to be realistic, especially if you're trying to get on your feet and you're trying to get your own crib and things like that. Also, if you're a young person, if you're around the age of 18 to 21, think about how many hours you're working, because when you go into the dealership, they're going to ask you, how much do you make? Let me see your check stubs. They're going to ask you those things. And if you're only working 15 hours a week at Wendy's, buddy, like you need to work on full-time. Work on full-time before you work on getting a Fiesta. How about that?
Right. Damn,
so full-time job, work on maybe getting a credit card before you go to the dealership. Okay. Because you need to have some credit history if you don't want a high interest rate. So make sure that you get like a secured card. If you want to start off right away with building credit, get a secured card. You're going to have to put like a $300 deposit down. You can build your credit, get something with Capital One, get something with Discover, pay off your payments right away, and have that for 6 months to a year before you go to the dealership, so you can get a lower interest rate.
That's good, girl. Damn, you knew the spot. Now, here's another question I have. One of my biggest fans, they were asking, when you're negotiating with a car sales, right?
Never accept offer.
Oh, don't accept it, you're saying?
Never accept your first offer. If you accept your first offer, that motherfucker is walking away with a grin on his face. Like, he's like, oh, can you sign this real quick? Thank you so much. And they're going to turn around and they're going to be like, this dumbass. Hey, I remember when I got first signing, like first prints, and they would sign the first print, I would walk away to the manager and I'd be like, hey, look at me. And then my manager would be like, no fucking way. He signed it. And I'd be like, yeah. And he's be like, bro, you just made $2,500. And I'd be like, shit. Like I would be like celebrating and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm taking everybody out to lunch, yada, yada, yada. Your first offer, because the first offer is, they can always do better than that. Be like, look at your first offer, no matter how good it looks, and be like, nah, bro. Is this a joke? Is this like, put on your poker face. If you're in the dealership, you don't smile once. Don't smile when they shake your hand. Like, you're gonna look at it and you're gonna say, is this a fucking joke, bro? And he's gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me talk to my manager, bro. Guarantee you he's gonna walk away and come back with something better.
Wow.
He's going and come back with something better, whether it's better interest rate, a better down payment, or a better monthly payment. Because if they come back to you and be like, hey, can you put 2,000 down? Be like, no. If they ever ask you for more money down, say no. Especially if you have more than 2K. If you have more than 2K down and you're on a reasonable car, they ask you for more money down, that's just profit. That's profit that they're taking and putting in their pocket. You might as well just sell the principal so that they could finance you. But if you're on like a regular schmegular car, like a Ford or a Hyundai or a Kia, you don't need that much money down. They're just trying to make profit off of you. That's like them selling you like an eighth for like $50.
Oh my God.
Like, you're not okay to that. Like, you're
Wow, that's crazy, girl. And what about like a big one too? Another question that I have is, when you are going back and forth, right, with the car sales, should you tell them that you have a car that you want to trade in after they're done putting the numbers together?
No, I hate that myth. That's a myth.
That's
because
a myth.
you know what? They're going to hate you. Want to know why? You just made more work for them, because when you have a trade-in, they have to call the bank that you're financing. They have to be on the phone for like 40 minutes. You're making your visit longer. They have to look at your car, see how many miles are on it. The used car manager has to look at it and appraise it and tell you how much it's worth. You just added an hour and a half onto their fucking job. They hate you now. They're not giving you a good deal. They're like, I don't like you. Yeah, no. They don't want to go drive your Honda Civic from 1990. They don't even want to set foot in that bitch because it's crusty and disgusting. I remember when I used to check in used cars, and I would have to sit in the driver's seat and I'd be like, like there'd be chicken nuggets and fries and like cigarette butts and shit in there. And I don't even want to sit in that. Okay. But I have to, because you have a trade-in. But no, don't hide the fact that you have a trade-in, because your trade-in might actually work for you. It might work for you in the fact that it could bring you value. It could also work against you. Like, let's say your car is worth 10,000, but you owe 15,000. That means you're -5. And then they tell you, oh, we just got a deal for you. You know, the bank just approved you. And now you're -5,000 on your car. That deal up in smoke. It might as well be a daydream. Go dream about it, because now your deal no longer exists. And the manager is going to be like, spent 2 hours trying to get an approval from the bank. They finally said yes. And now you got a negative negative equity car. So then they're going to be like, bro, you either put 5K down or you need to get the fuck out. And they're going to tell you, get out, bro, because I just spent 5 hours of my time for no reason. They're going to be real mad at you. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Here's another one. Big one. This is for me now. So so I have this car now since August, right? What do you think? I only owe, I think about, $6,000. I think that's it. $6,000. Do you think if I were to trade it in for a better car, right? Like a newer, because you're making me feel like the 4 ain't that great. But if I want to, because I can't.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's a titanium. Just stick with it. You already put money into it. Just keep it.
So
it's your trap. No, it's your trap car. How much do you owe on it right now?
I think I only owe, like, I'm telling you, like, I think like $6,000 or maybe. No.
Pay that baby off and keep it as your backup. Okay. And then when you're finally feeling bougie and you got your own crib and you feel like you're set, you pay that car off and you either use it as a little egg that you can trade into the dealership. You could say, hey, this is my down payment. I'm putting 0 money down. This is what you motherfuckers get. What can you do for me? That's what you do. Or you keep it and you buy a new car and then you have 2 cars. Shorty can drive the old one. You can drive the new one. There you go, bro. That's what it is. Like, honestly, 2 cars, if you have a nice car and a shitty car, that shows more wealthiness than having 1 car that you're struggling to pay. You know what I'm saying? So just keep the car, pay it off, and then trade it in when you're ready. Once it's like breaking down on you and it's like towards the end of its life, then trade it in. Don't keep trading in and out of cars, because people who trade in and out of cars too early, that's how you build negative equity. That's how you start being in the hole, you know? And then you try to trade in your car and they're like, we can't help you no more because you're too deep in the hole.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
If you're the type of person that you like to have a new car every 2 or 3 years, fucking lease it, dude. Lease it and save yourself money. And people are afraid of leasing because it's like, oh, it's renting, you're never going to own it. Motherfucker, you don't even own your cars anyway. When's the last time you paid off a car? Like, shut up.
Wow.
I don't know. If you lease a car, you have a new car every 2 or 3 years, and it's always going to have a warranty. And if it breaks down on you or something like that, that's on the companies. That's on the companies, you know, that's on their name, you know. If it breaks down or something happens with the engine, that's on them. It's covered by the warranty. You don't have to worry about it. I know I have some older people that I speak to, and they're like, oh, I always want a car with a warranty because I'm afraid. I'm like, okay, well, you might as well lease it. Like, how many more years do you got, Betsy? 10? You're fucking 89. Go lease it. I don't know.
You're funny. You're funny.
I think leasing is better.
Damn, girl, that's what's up. No, I appreciate it. I think that was good. I think you answer a lot of the big questions. And for me too, like I feel better now. And now I feel like the next time I do buy a car,
get your title and you can say I paid off my car, you're gonna feel so proud.
I will actually. You know what's crazy? So I don't have any credit cards no more. I used to have I had like one credit card I had for like about 10 years, another one for 7. I finished paying them off, and I'm glad I did because the car is building me credit. You know, I'm paying that car every month. I'm actually paying it 2 months in advance because I'm trying to, you know, get it done faster. You feel me? But yeah, like definitely I feel like, you know, back then when I had a credit card, girl, I would swipe that thing like ding, ding. Oh, step.
On 1%.
1%. Okay, let me wrap it up. All right. This is the Outlet to Reality, the oldest podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Get to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching. Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the Outlet to Reality. My TikTok is at Yaakov28. And my Snapchat is Take One Pass It. Gabby, where can I find you, girl?
You can find me Gabrielle.1974 on socials. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Insta. What's up? Or it's 1974.Gabrielle. Mix it up, you know, mix and match. It is what it is. Don't stalk me.
I love it.